И всем привет, с вами снова Хамелеон Фокс. На сей раз продолжаю игру Шерлок Холмс. Глава 2. Тайна исчезнувшего поезда. Еще не знаю, загружу ли я это видео или нет, но все равно об этом стоит. А то, что я говорил, откуда я взял эту игру, уже говорил в прошлом видео, а также начало самого диалога с Майнкрафтом тоже был в прошлом видео, под конец. Ну что ж, продолжим. Вот наше письмо. С прошлого видео, которое там, как известный черный Питер. И да уж, и типа, как всегда, Лестер всегда любит хвастаться. Как помните статистику, вот. Так, сейчас надо поговорить с доктором Ватсоном и уже уходить пора. Сейчас посмотрим.
Look after Mrs. Hudson for us, Toby.
Та-да! Как всегда, не изменим традиции наблюдать за этой и женщиной. Не знаю, чего они сделали, но все равно пойдем с Ватсоном.
Holmes, please call a cab while I pack my suitcase. We should be late for the train.
Так, переодеваться вроде бы не особо надо.
Watson, I'll
Так
hold
что
the cab
пойдем.
for us. We leave in 5 minutes for the station.
Как всегда.
What a gloomy night. It was warmer inside the waiting hall.
Since the station master told us that the train is about to arrive, we should not have to wait very much longer.
Yes, at last.
Attention! The train is arriving at the station. Please stand well away from the platform edge.
I'll take your bags and your blasted archive suitcase. But, Holmes, the headlight. It's faded away.
Something is wrong. I can't hear any sound from the incoming train.
Excuse me, sir. Can you explain what has happened?
I don't know. It's as if the train vanished into thin air.
Holmes, say something.
Quick, fetch a lantern and let us take a look.
It's too dark. Only fog and rails, nothing else.
There is no use in stumbling around here at night. We will come back tomorrow.
Может, пока дедуктивный анализ улик, потому что еще нет смысла.
Well, here we are again at Ившней station. We have a full day ahead. Let us begin our investigation.
Да уж, как всегда, Шерлок расследует так. В первую очередь мы должны... Стоп, точно, вот туда. Начать расследовать это место. Вот там должно быть. А, не то. Вечно я раскрою рану. Если я...
This is the place where we saw the train vanish last night.
Насколько понимаю... Не знаю, какой это модель поезда, но... Только если, конечно, не играю сам Empire или какую-нибудь другую. Например, Сид Мейерс. Там тоже будет положить дорога Англии.
Railway sleepers. Nothing unusual.
Ничего необычного.
The rails have not been touched. There's nothing unusual here. There are no tracks or footprints on the ground. A discarded item, possibly thrown from the train. There are no signs to indicate that the train ran off the track, nor are there any other traces. There is nothing whatsoever. There are no clues. But then, a negative result is also a result.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. No clues, and you're smiling.
Yes, Watson, I do smile on occasion. This mystery appears very promising. This investigation won't be simple. We shall require a map of the region.
Perhaps the station master could lend us one.
А, нет, блин, не то включи вечно. Достиг. Ладно, сейчас идем обратно на станцию. А вот он появился.
Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson.
Yes, I remember you. I'm Station Master Everett. You were here last night. So, you are Mr. Holmes, the great detective. Will you be investigating what happened?
I shall indeed.
Пока что так.
It is extraordinary that an entire train could disappear like that. And to think of all the poor people inside it, the passengers, the driver.
Будем изучать. Насколько начал? Ага, вот. И вот, все.
Could you please give us any details about the train?
Well, there was nothing so very special about it. At least not that I can recall. My memory's not what it used to be.
Блин. Точно, я забыл. Да извиняюсь за то, что быстро.
I would be glad to have a detailed map of the local railway district.
But of course, please, take the one that's pinned inside the waiting hall.
Да иди сделал.
See you later, my good man.
И диалог был в том, что можно было зайти в его личный офис и забрать там информацию о поезде. Сюда. Который я очень проскипал.
A new telegram.
I think we should meet this Mr. Robinson. Here is the train set.
Хотя можешь посмотреть сам состав поезда. Да уж. Вот это тот поезд, который должен быть большим, уж совсем другой. На более поздних стадиях. Насколько я понимаю.
A telegraph.
Так, телеграф. Так, сейчас мы должны идти в зал ожидания, во-первых. Подожди. А, нет, это почта. Магазин. Вот тут ничего интересного нет, потому что... Как всегда...
This map will be useful.
Ага, вот сама карта. Так, а теперь можем спросить его снова. Хотя можем пойти в это место. В трейн обсервал. То есть называется место обслуживания поездов.
An old locomotive bell. This part is probably from... This place serves as a storage area for the station.
Использовать как склад неудивительно.
This part is probably from a locomotive.
Ну, здесь использовать как склад, это естественно. Называется служебное. Так, ладно. Мыши все.
According to the train composition report, there was a special wagon. What does that entail?
That's a highly secure car, ordered by a private party. It is generally to carry something of value. Those wagons have iron walls, you know, without any windows. And they're fitted with a complex key lock.
That is important information. Do you know what was inside this particular wagon?
Certainly not. No, that's private. And it's not my responsibility to allot the wagons to whoever.
Was there anything exceptional about any of the passengers aboard the train?
What do you mean? Like officials? I wouldn't know.
Не знаю.
Oh, but now that you mention it, yes, there was something. There was a message from Bridlington station saying that the train had been delayed because of an issue with the passengers. But what kind of problem that they didn't say?
That is interesting. You mentioned a problem at Bridlington station. I should like to visit this station. Could you mark it on the local map?
Of course. It's a suburban railway station. You might take a cab there.
See you later, my good man.
Да уж, всё. Так, ага, вот наш кэп. Все, прям. Какой-то быстрый кэп. Или может... А, ну скорее всего это долговатый. Кэп. Так, сейчас, подождите. А.
Railway post bags.
Да, не та станция. Опять вот зал ожидания.
This is an absolute scandal. It's always the same with these rail companies. No respect for the customer.
Так, ладно. Рабочая одежда. Дешевый билет, как... Шинат. Грубая кожа. Ну, это какой-то рабочий.
Please calm down, sir. What is your concern?
Concern? What is my concern? I'll tell you what my concern is. Last night I were on the train as usual with my colleague, heading home. Then along came this ridiculous ticket inspector, who started arguing that our tickets were invalid. He made us get off the train, and he was extremely rude about it.
Were you aboard the train that vanished last night?
Yes, I heard that it disappeared, but I don't care because we would have stopped before then anyway. Our tickets were valid and no doubt about it. And then, to top it all, the ticket inspector pushed everyone else out too, except for a bunch of rich. Well, because their type don't need a ticket.
Can you recall anything more specific about this fortunate group?
Well, yes. They were all foreigners. Spanish-looking toffs with snake eyes.
Так.
Goodbye, sir.
Сейчас. Подожди. Там меня отвлекают, как всегда.
Good day to you, sir.
Good day. To whom am I speaking?
My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is...
Are you a representative of this damned railway company? Because I have a complaint.
We are not from the railway company. We are...
Well, in that case, Mr. Shamrock Flomes, please excuse me, but I'm not in the mood for idle chit-chat at the moment.
Дорогая одежда. Дорогая кожа.
You must be Mr. Robinson, is that correct?
Yes?
Да.
I am leading the investigation of the disappearing train. It would help if you could answer my questions.
Ah, well, all right. I have nothing to hide.
I presume it was you who placed the order for the special wagon.
Yes. It was to transport my valuable prototype safely to London. My prototype is a revolutionary device. It is capable of producing electricity. I'm a businessman and an engineer. I had already found several potential customers for my invention, but I was very optimistic about the directors' board who were travelling on the train last night.
Прошлой ночью, типа.
You mentioned a director's board. Which company do they own?
The Chilean Barcazes Company. I had made an appointment with them. Now they are lost, along with the train and my prototype.
What do you know about the Barcazes Company?
It's a large South American company. They showed a great deal of interest in my prototype, and they seemed wealthy enough to do business with.
This revolutionary machine of yours, was it very valuable?
For God's sake, sir, it is priceless. It could change the world we live in, and yet I was selling it for almost nothing. I am a humanitarian, you see. I do not know if I will ever be able to get over this disaster. I cannot believe that it disappeared with that damn train.
Да уж, как будто специально кто-то хотел украсть груз.
Mr. Robinson, could you please clarify? Were you travelling alongside your prototype?
Yes, I was. But I had to step off the train. And all because of this stupid station master.
I received a telegram declaring that an important person, a Mr. Bromsby, wished to see you in the waiting room. I merely informed you of this.
Понимаю.
Mr. Bromsby is a wealthy gentleman. His interest in my invention was truly unexpected. So yes, of course, I agreed to see him. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. I thought perhaps he might have been delayed, so I chose to wait a while.
А тут специальный
But
работ, который
despite my
заказ не мог
requests,
отцепить.
the train left the station without me. Absolutely unacceptable.
The timetable is strict. We cannot wait any longer. The regulations require the train to be on time.
You are an idiot. You will pay for it. I will sue you.
The ticket inspector forced all the passengers from the train except for the directors of the Barcazes Chilean Company.
Так, ладно, сейчас есть еще один персонаж. Специалист в работе. Кража. Это обычно как пассажир. Щель в полу. Листок бумаги. Обязательно.
The insurance policy for Robinson's machine. A significant sum.
Прекратить возвращение. Максимально.
A telegraph.
Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you?
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I am investigating the unfortunate disappearance of last night's train.
I see. I'm Station Master Bertram, but my supervisor has not informed me about this. I do not know if...
Do not worry. I have only a few questions. Station Master Everett from Ivsham told us that you reported a problem with some passengers last night.
Indeed. This train is a regular line for those who work at Nottingham. But yesterday, everyone was asked to get off the train here at my station. I've no idea why, and it delayed the train. But the worst of it is that now I have to deal with 2 furious passengers who are complaining about the company's service. They stayed here the whole night, but people do not usually pay much attention to the regulations, you see. There are very strict and clear rules. Paragraph 234 of Article 2G-43 states that in the event of a complaint, you must...
Yes, thank you. I understand.
Где-то не сверкало. А, да, молодой. Чистая одежда. Инструкция.
Apart from the passengers disembarking, did you notice anything else that was unusual last night?
I did, and I mentioned it in my report to our higher management on the matter.
What was it?
Sorry, but I can't tell you. The station master's reports are confidential.
Confidential, you say? How long have you been working here?
I've worked here long enough to be quite capable of managing a railway station.
Новый начальник станции, потому что...
Let me speak frankly, Mr. Bertram. Your age and your lack of confidence in your position are quite apparent. You cannot deny that you have only recently completed your studies.
I was at the top of my class.
Listen here, young man. I am aware that you wish to protect yourself behind all these regulations, but I represent the law.
And you are obstructing the investigation of an important case. I would suggest that you cooperate with Mr. Holmes. Think of your career.
Ah, that is... Well, I'll tell you everything. First of all, I scolded the ticket inspector, for it was he who asked the passengers to leave the train. It was not his right to do so. He was very rude. And then, later on, I received a most peculiar telegram from my colleague at Chesterfield Station, the next stop along the line.
What did the telegram say?
Well, that was the peculiar thing. It was almost unreadable. It was full of errors and awfully vague. It was hard to understand if the train had correctly passed that station or not. You can read it for yourself.
We ought to visit Chesterfield Station. We need to confirm if the station master saw the train or not.
Железнодорожная станция. То есть поезд какой-то там номер прибывает 0:30 и отправляется в 0:35. Так, нам надо еще пару деталей сделать, прежде чем отправить его на станцию.
According to this document, you have insurance for your prototype.
Oh, thank God! Where did you find it?
Near the telegraph station.
I must have lost it when I tried to send a message, which I was prevented from doing.
I apologise for that, but regulations state that public access to the telegraph is strictly prohibited.
Upon my word, you keep on digging that hole of yours. You have no idea who I am.
I see that you kept your gripsack with you. Why don't you leave it in the luggage room?
I've had other things to think about. I lost my prototype, and this idiot station master just stands here doing nothing to help.
Oh, but...
Well, that won't do at all. Station master, I believe that the regulations state that any passenger luggage should be taken to the luggage room.
I'll do it right away, sir. Sorry, sir.
This Robinson is quite a character. We should learn more about him.
Так, несколько. Дальше нужно идти вот сюда.
This grips.
I think we should open it, Holmes. This is what they call force majeure. I'll keep watch.
Of course.
Пин. Чё, пин? Сначала вот это. Так. Пока я так открутим. Все. Изи, как говорится.
Look, Watson, a bundle of contracts. An exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the seller.
Так, следующий.
Yet another exclusive sales contract. Mr. Robinson is the
Там,
seller.
что написано, одно и то же будет. Так что можете поставить сейчас на паузу и смотреть. Так.
Yet another. Mr. Robinson.
Да, эй, куда пин?
Yet an.
Пин.
Well, it is very clear that this Mr. Robinson received prepayments from various people for his machine.
Так, все. Еще можно интересно сказать ему.
I will not move from here until I
Ладно, позже мне тут нечего делать, по всему. Сколько ценится общество на то, что указано. Так, пока у нас тут нечего смотреть, поехали. Нашу любимую станцию Черчилль. Так, вот первый, как всегда. Черт, на... Нет. Блин, опять. Прототип заинтересовал многих. Цены выбор. Теперь вряд ли могли сами числить составить. Тоже круче, вряд ли. Предложен увлекательный мотив Робинсона, потому что он тоже тип, может много чего придется изменить. Подожди. Больше у меня нет вариантов.
I had thought that all station masters knew the Morse code, but apparently not.
A telegraph.
А вон наш начальник станции.
How could he fall asleep at work like this? Excuse me, sir. Wake up. Ah, his breath. He must have swallowed half a distillery.
And that explains the how.
By his sleeping off the alcohol, you mean? Wake up, please, sir.
What? The 18 hours 72 train has arrived?
Good day to you. We are investigating the disappearance of last night's train, and we should like to ask you a few questions. Were there any passengers who got off that particular train at your station last night?
No, nobody, it seems to me. Although I did not leave my office, so...
No doubt you were very busy.
You don't say. You can't ever get any peace around here. Now you have to send a telegram each time a train arrives and departs.
Station Master Bertram from Bridlington showed me a strange telegram that he received from you last night. It concerned the train, but it was barely comprehensible.
What? He's a fastidious little twerp, that Bertram. I remember everything quite clearly. It was late, and I was tired, but I did my work. So what? There's no need to be so petty.
You were not tired, you were inebriated. Tell me the truth now, or I shall not hesitate to document your state in my report.
My friend means that you will end up by being sacked from your position.
All right. So I was drunk. I don't remember all of yesterday, to be truthful to you. Please don't go harsh on me.
Holmes, this man has consumed a considerable amount of alcohol. He's not entirely helpless yet, but...
It will not be long before he is. Obviously, his testimony cannot be trusted.
Смотрите там часть. Да уж. Да ладно, что проехал. Пока не изменится.
A fishing advertisement.
This bin is full of...
Так, следующий у нас.
Locked. There is no sense in asking the station master to open it. We shall have to pick the lock.
Очень просто. Блин. Прям словно как в Мафии 2. Который ты играешь за взломщика. Так, смотрим.
Bags were recently dragged here. French wine, a remarkable vintage. These bottles are too expensive for a station master's wage. They were likely taken from the parcels.
Shameful.
These tools were used quite recently. They are still muddy.
Еще не спросить. Так, насчет инструментов потом бросим. Сейчас наша цель еще.
A handcar wheelbase. Interesting. It appears that elements of the same construction were scattered everywhere. Watson, please tell me, do you believe in magic?
Of course not, Holmes.
Then you are of the opinion that a train cannot simply disappear.
Well, we both know that that is obvious. Why are you asking such peculiar questions?
A little patience, Watson. You will understand my point quite soon. So, are you quite certain that you saw the train at Evesham station?
Yes, of course. We saw it coming. The headlights, and heard the whistle.
But that is it. We didn't see the train itself.
Поезд.
But... Oh, Holmes, I'm a little confused.
То есть он имеет в виду то, что вместо самого поезда была сама вагонетка. Та самая.
A handcar we...
Вот. Приезжает напрямую связанный с Тайной. А, да. Вот теперь можем создать. Так. Здесь это колесо. Так, сюда помещаем деревянную платформу. Настоящую часть. Еще ось колеса. Так, что-то еще. Тормоза. Ага. Про как в американском. Точнее, во многих американских фильмах. Такую тележку вы... Точнее, мультфильмах видели такую тележку. Даже в Скуби-Ду была такая же. Подобная.
So, now here we have the fake train that we saw approaching Evesham station last night.
Doesn't look much like a train to me.
Be patient, Watson, I haven't finished yet. Try using your imagination. Our train requires only a headlight and a steam whistle.
Здесь еще рано. Но мы еще не дали.
We need to attach a headlight.
Ага, ладно. Ладно. Будем искать дальше, что складывать, потому что там, если именно... Еще, мне кажется... Еще не все нашли. Ладно. И тушители, да. Черт, что-то забыл чуть-чуть. Что-то еще должен быть. А, вот, свисток. Не просто так все это делается.
The long pole is now attached. It will allow us to connect the headlight. The headlight is attached.
Ага, понятно, что это такое, типа энергия от того, от фальшивой вагонетки.
The steam whistle is now connected.
Holmes, what can we do to make the steam whistle work?
It is elementary, my dear Watson. We shall need a fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher. Now let us see what we have here. The steam whistle is ready to be used.
Аля, вот наш фейковый поезд.
Watson, I do believe that we have created an exact replica of the train that vanished in front of us last night. The criminal mind can be most inventive. I am somewhat in awe.
So such a thing is possible.
Так, это
If
возможно.
someone went to all the trouble of creating this fake train, then it was surely with the intention of stealing the real one.
Ah, Watson, you should not jump to conclusions. In fact, this does not tell us very much at all, except that the train did not evaporate into thin air.
Although you half suspected it.
Huh. At any rate, we now need to find where the real train might be hidden. I suggest we use my archives to find a more detailed map of our surroundings.
Well, I hope that justifies our having to load your massive archive suitcase onto the cab. It made us extremely unpopular with our driver.
Так, сейчас еще раз поговорим с этим алкашем. А. Так, если, конечно, смотреть. Такое чувство, что именно он как-то
You
каким-то
have
макаром
quite a
связан
number
с
of
этим.
dirty tools lying around here.
Ah, yes. Well, thank you for reminding me. I should clean them. Although, might be easier to put them outside. Seems it might start raining soon.
I meant, what were they used for?
Some workers come here and borrowed them from me. They wanted to lift the edge of the railway to one of the stations on the line, so that the water wouldn't come in too close.
Who were these workers?
Well, they didn't seem to be from the company, but they was fine lads. They invited me to share a drink. And whatever it was, it had a kick to it. They wasn't English. No, I don't believe so. But see, they knew just what a man needed to brighten up his dull evening.
I'm always one.
Ah, will I ever get any peace?
Что больше мне тут делать? Тебе нужно возвращаться к нашему кэпу. Что она еще тут можно смотреть? Сам же больше там ничего нет. Кроме этих багажников с саквояжем и все.
I'm always wondering what's on your mind, Holmes.
Now we have two maps. We must combine them properly.
Их правильно соединить. Дело в том, что нужно смотреть. Тут по всему тут озеро и это. Единственное, тут полно озера, но единственное озеро, которое интересует, это вот это.
Here it is. There is a side branch to the railway. Its first switch is located between Bridlington and Chesterfield stations. There is one more station to be visited. It is located between Chesterfield and Evesham, and there should be a side railway to the nearby quarry. There is a small section of a railway at the end of Evesham station.
Теперь нам надо ехать. Так. Начнем сначала со стрелки. Все. Поезд не так. Кто-то сделал фальшивый поезд из тележки из разных деталей. Или, конечно. Так, нам надо сейчас осмотреть именно этот путь.
The switch is rusted, but it still works. Mines. This is interesting.
Если поезд могли именно сюда именно свернуть.
It would be quite possible for someone to redirect the train towards the mines.
Именно такая большая версия, что именно поезд могли отправить сюда. И там. Так, а смотрите, пока видка-то. Да, скорее всего, там больше ничего такого и нет.
This road should go in the same direction as the railway.
Так, нет. Смотрим дальше.
Here are the mines, Holmes. They appear to be abandoned.
Nothing in.
Мне кажется, мы должны саму...
Nothing interesting here.
Блин, а как мне измерить саму колею?
Nothing.
Это тоже так, что ли?
Nothing interesting here.
Блин, даже подсказку не дадут, как правильно измерять. Не так, как правильно.
Nothing interesting.
Не так должны измерять.
Nothing interesting.
Чё?
Nothing interesting here.
Как интересно так измерить, чтобы...
Nothing interesting here.
Можем использовать так.
Nothing interesting here.
Что здесь?
Nothing interesting.
Блин, вечно что-то с этой.
Nothing interesting here.
Блин, я не знаю, как это
A
использовать
small
правильно.
vehicle with wooden beams went down this way.
Потому что я не знаю, как правильно измерить. Точнее, я знаю. Что-то все равно.
This mine has completely collapsed, Holmes.
It is curious, but to be truthful, I am not entirely surprised. Someone removed these screws, most probably to take down the rails. A few feet of the rails have been dismantled.
На шаг кучу камней.
This is an unusual kind of paper, stiff and dry. It was used for a specific purpose. Let us look inside. Sawdust. I am almost certain it is a... Watson, could you assist, please? Do you have your pistol? Good. Fire at this package.
Просто... Ну да. Сейчас будет самое интересное. Черт. Блин, еще тот стрелок, блин.
Dynamite.
Черт. То есть получается, если поезд сюда и выкинули, то...
I'm all...
Что-то, видимо, еще не все, если... А, все, тут уже выход.
A fake train. Ha! What a...
Взорвали что-то. Предположим, что именно сокрытие. Если поехал, то... Хотел его закрыть. Если закрыть, то почему-то красный, значит. Если не проезжал, то оно... Жертва, то вроде бы ничего не изменится. Так вот, оказывается, если не проезжать фильм, значит, его, значит, это он будет причастен. Если я поменяю, что саботаж, чё, а если проезжал, то саботаж остается в действии, а закрытие получается как тупиковая ветвь. Скорее всего, оставил. Понятно, что связано. Жалко, что ничего интересного так и не найдем. Все надо очень внимательно смотреть шахту, не знаю, как разобрать. Потому что оно явно как-то было закрыто. Если сюда угнали поезд, то не проезжал Черчилль. Те же самые инструменты. Пока там ничего не найдем.
This is the cabin for the mine's security personnel. This box must be the safe. Let's open it.
Вечно такая закоулка.
The Mexican company Caracao and the Chilean Barcazas both want to buy the mines. I need more information. Perhaps Mycroft could help.
Сообщаю вам. Доступ к шахте. Эта компания и их будущий владелец, кроме будет применяться ко всем. Используйте телеграф, чтобы узнать больше о компании Играю. Но это узнаем уже на другой станции. Все, по всему мы осмотрели все, что нужно. Теперь смотрим эту станцию. Так, что у нас есть? Против тевенийцев. Как, словно какая-то... Ну да, типа две банды против враждебной. И кто-то из них явно насолил. Понятно. Теперь... Ага, вот наш любимый мексиканец.
A funny character. He looks anxious.
Блин, из-за этого он мог устроить...
This scent is familiar to me, but in order to recognize it, I must combine my associations into one picture. A greenish-brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. Ricardo.
You already know the name of this man? Holmes, you amaze me.
No, Watson, I refer to the cigar. It is a Ricardo Turrent, a Mexican cigar of an excellent quality. Quite an expensive one, too. This ashtray is full of ash and cigar stubs. Apparently, there was a conflict between the Mexicans and the Chileans.
Так.
This ashtray is full of ash.
Ничего себе.
A greenish-brown cigar with a strong aroma, a hint of peppermint. These ashes and cigar stubs are similar to the one that we found on the floor. Some of the stubs were recently smoked. There are others that appear fairly old.
That means that the fellow spent several days here. Judging by his clothes, he's hardly a traveller or a tramp.
Well concluded, my dear fellow. A man who smoked the Ricardo brand of Mexican cigar spent several long days at Doncaster Station. This ashtray...
Да, уже больше ничего такого нет. Теперь Перейдем сам в офис.
Newspaper articles on horse racing. Newspaper articles on horse racing. Hurdle, steeplechase and...
Betting slips for horse racing. The sums are quite impressive.
It can be an expensive vice. This man had probably used all his savings.
I asked Mycroft to find out some information on the WEA Coal Company. Here is his reply, and it is an interesting one.
За две компании чилийской проказ, мексиканской угольные шахты Б. Однако чилийский прокат благодаря течение сделки. Блин, ты получил.
A telegraph.
Все понятно. У мексиканцев не было разногласий с чилийцами. Все-таки бизнес есть. Что-то еще не все раскрыл. Кажется, что я как будто тут еще что-то упустил. Ладно, посмотрим, что будет. Так, где-то он должен быть здесь, начальник станции.
Holmes, look. There's a flooded area over here.
I believe that the flooded area might be worth checking.
Да уж. То есть этот участок должен быть карьером. А он затоплен, как будто кто-то специально это сделал. Смотреть нет, такого интересного нет. А вот сам начальник станции.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. John Watson. We are investigating the case of the vanished train.
Is that so? Well, good day, gentlemen. I am Mr. Duff, the station master of this station. I'll be happy to help you in any way I can, but there's not much that I can tell you about last night.
Меланхолик. Отсутствие часов. Так, ладно.
Не берут никуда.
Сори. Хватает пуговицы. Вид кольца.
It appears that you may be at risk of some flooding along the line here.
You mean that the whole bloody lake is at our feet?
Quite so. But it is strange, because according to my map, there should be a quarry here, and behind that, the lake.
How should I know? I only arrived here a few months ago.
And where did you work before that?
I was working in Nottingham, but I asked for a quieter place, so they transferred me here. Life is cheaper. I can't really complain.
There was a gentleman of Mexican origin, I believe, in the waiting room. Did you notice him?
What? A Mexican? Here in the back of beyond? Are you quite sure about that?
Did any passengers leave or board the train last night?
No. I saw no one as usual. I reported the train's passage by telegraph. Just the same as all the other nights.
I observe that you are a gambling man, Mr. Duff. You had hoped that your relocation to this small town might have helped ease your addiction, but it was not to be.
I beg your pardon? Addiction to what?
We found a number of horse racing tickets inside your office. Well, well, we all have our weaknesses. An expensive obsession, surely, for a station master.
It is none of your business. I occasionally attend the races with my colleagues. And anyway, that's my private life.
Goodbye, sir. It is obvious that we cannot inspect the quarry. Instead, we can check the beach area around the flooded lake. Watson, it seems that both South American companies were involved in the purchase of the mine.
The man at Doncaster who fled our approach, he smokes Mexican cigars. Perhaps...
Yes, Watson. We should certainly speak with him.
Еще надо найти здесь этого человека. Смотреть берег. Так, это мы заходили именно сюда. Ага, вот он, тот самый человек.
Please, sir, we would ask you not to leave. We have some questions.
Are you the police?
No, we are employed by the railway company. We are collecting witness statements about the train that disappeared last night.
Lo siento, I'm in a hurry.
Really? It seemed that you were waiting here for someone. Could you tell us if you were at the station last night?
No, I just arrived from South America.
A formidable journey, no doubt. Which country are you from?
De Chile.
Ага, то есть это не просто мексиканец, а чилиец. Морщины. Приятно держи, стоп. Крепкое телосложение. Морщин. И дорогая сигарета.
Chile? But you are Mexican.
Ну, вы же мексиканец.
No, you are wrong. Why would you think I'm Mexican?
Мексиканский
Because of your
сигарет.
cigars.
Sí, cigarrillos. So what?
Those cigars are the Ricardo brand, from Mexico. It is quite impossible to find them anywhere but there.
Где-то еще.
Pero not your business.
Что вы здесь делаете?
I don't suppose that you are on vacation. What business brought you here?
Какое дело
I was to
придется?
meet my fellow compañeros, who were due to arrive yesterday. They were on that damn train. I will stay here and hope that the authorities find them, or their bodies. It's now my responsibility to repatriate them.
Who authorized you to do that?
The company I work for.
Could you tell me the name of the company?
It's not your concern.
And what is your name?
Enough questions. Buenas tardes.
Блин,
Not a very friendly man, and he is lying. He said that he just arrived, but we know that he has been here for several...
у мексиканца было разное. Без мексиканца. Воу. Опа-на. Устроили так, чтобы чилийцы остались в поезде. Вот почему контролировать, кроме... А уж... Неплохой дедукция. У нас еще... Судя по всему... Так, часть дороги к шахтеру. Идет... Ёшкин кот. Если он с чилийцей и мексиканцы раздражены, то есть у нас еще не все собранные материалы. То есть если я выбрал директор чилийской компании, если бы не случайность, то их бы не высадили по диалогу. А то, что если это я выбрал, и у нас получился, если нет, то это отменяется. Так что оставим как это версию. Что больше у нас? Блин, вечно куда-нибудь уходит. Интересно, куда он вечно девается? Чертов мексиканец. Надеюсь, что он сбежал, как всегда. Так, ладно, пойдем дальше. Следующий наш цель — берег. О, да уж. Непонятно.
Here we are at the beach that is located near the quarry and Doncaster station. These traces were made by a carriage. Look.
The
vehicle pressed this stone into the ground. It would have been quite heavy. The vehicle would have been heavy. Nothing.
Блин, как правильно измерить клею, чтобы... Так вот, что ли?
Nothing interesting here.
Блин, не люблю такое мерить. Точнее, как правильно измерить клею, чтобы...
Nothing interesting here. The vehicle would have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep. These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials.
Да уж, это, конечно, загадку, не знаю, как правильно вы знаете, напишите в комментах. Все, у нас все подозреваемые на месте. Почему? Так, смотрим.
An abandoned gypsy caravan. This place was abandoned.
Недавно.
Observing the coastline and the moored boats, we are able to see that the lake's water level dropped. The lake has flooded the quarry. The dam was probably breached.
Береговая линия.
A label with the name Las Zarpas.
Так, если по всему нам надо опять возвращаться к Эпу, больше там нечего. Больше нам нечего делать, судя по всему.
An advertisement for lake cruises.
Что такого интересного? Больше нет. Газеты вряд ли, а вот энциклопедия. Потому что я что-то в прошлом видео это сделал. Но что-то по каким-то обстоятельствам, как всегда. Неудачно все это записывал, так чтобы не смотреть. И перевозки.
Here it is.
Так, баржа. 9 перевозки. Связь мексиканский. Тоже занимает.
This suitcase contains my archives. We can
Так, сейчас еще. Специальный транспорт нет. Специальный транспорта ничего там нет. Специальный транспорт, что там еще нет. Пикет пиздить, что-то тяжелое. Ничего не происходит. Единственная стукатная зацепка с мексиканской. Потому что такая версия больше всего подходит. Сейчас раньше. Так, что еще у нас есть? Да, все-таки больше ничего нет. Так, и судя по всему, у нас еще недавно было задание. Пока смотрите боковую ветку возле Ившней. Так. Тут у нас так. То есть надо опять возвращаться и осмотреться опять, как всегда. Что за... Интересно, осмотрите боковую ветку. Надо опять осмотреться. Если...
This railway branch should lead to the quarry. Let us take a look. The switch is rusted, but it still works.
Хотя вряд ли могли сюда загнать.
The rail is rusted and looks old, but the railway is still usable.
Использовать можно.
The railway ends here. That is strange.
Да, ага, так вот что надо. Что-то там интересно. Так, поезд. Поскольку есть последний. Так, то что будет у нас? А если саботаж? Ты чё? Он не приезжал. Ничего у нас. Что есть? Мне кажется, вряд ли могли топить, потому что положишь не то. Оставляем на этой версии. Может, что-нибудь где-то и ошибкой была, но... Бензин жертва, не знаю. что мы еще не все осмотрели.
All these trains and railway stations, Chileans, Mexicans, and Robinson with his prototype.
Если тут... Да уж. А, дальше уже выход. Судя по всему, надо еще раз смотреть эту станцию. Блин, хотя если утопить, то вряд ли. Или взорвать пластик. Если кто... Чуть эти... Так, больше что-то не могу. Ладно, смотрим дальше станцию. А, вот это здание мы еще не смотрели. Посмотрим это здание. Странно. Все это. Подожди, нам еще есть такая задача посмотреть эту развилку. Ладно, сейчас. Так, нам надо смотреть следующее ответвление уже от другой стороны. А, да, тут выход. А, вот она, само ответвление. Что за...
There was a building here not so long ago.
But I don't understand, Holmes. Why would anyone destroy the shed in such a manner?
It was disassembled in great haste. It is most odd.
All these trains and railway stations.
Черт, где это? Где-то мне говорит, что ему где-то здесь надо осматривать. Многочисленные следы, а вот он куда идет.
Traces. Let's take a closer look. The vehicle would have been heavy, as these tracks are quite deep.
Блин, опять чертово измерение. Как правильно измерить? Так уж что ли?
The distance between the tracks is about 6 feet 7 inches.
Блин, а почему у меня с других...
These traces are relatively fresh and were made by a large truck loaded with materials. The traces found at the disassembled shed near Ившней and at the lake were from the same vehicle.
Как? Вопрос. Мне надо было правильно измерить, чтобы все это засчиталось. Это вы сами видели. Я первый дверь пропустил, то оказывается можно вот так вот. Я вот так как-то делал. Если это все, значит тут уже все. Так, больше с этим взаимодействовать не можем.
This road should lead to the town of Ившней. This road should lead to the town of Ившней.
But I don't...
Так, ладно. Так, что у нас по заданию? Так, ага, значит, нам надо опять возвращаться. Это всем понятно, что. Так, а тут ничего такого нет. Давай спросим опять этого человека.
It appears that there was a small warehouse near your station, and that it was disassembled. Why is that?
It was burgled overnight about 2 weeks ago. The police have already started their investigation, but I doubt that they'll find anything.
What was inside the warehouse?
Nothing of value. A few hundred feet of standby rails and some spare railway parts. But it wouldn't be easy to steal all of that. Why would anyone want to?
See you later, my good man.
Что говорит, кто-то похитил, чтобы своевременно восстановить недостающий участок к затопленному карьеру. Подожди, у нас... Так. К шахтам. Чё за... Поезд погребен. И мексиканская ловушка-то. Не проехал Черчилль. Повернул внутрь. Так, что еще у нас есть? А, точнее. Если могли утопить. Саботаж. Предположим. Когда что это получается? Дай. Мексиканская ловушка. Это вполне вероятно. Не связано. Так, судя по всему, у нас еще не все осмотрели. Что еще можно смотреть? Что с предотчетом могли. Что там еще могли? Что еще из интересного такого пропустить в этой станции?
A telegraph.
По всему больше нечего. Стоп, а может я почтовые ящики не проверял? Это вполне невозможно. Не, вряд ли сюда дойти. Точно.
This post bag belongs to the station master.
Так вот, что я забыл.
The station master appears to have found himself in some financial trouble.
Еще раз просим, может, что-нибудь еще будет.
You'll find nothing interesting here, I'm afraid.
Оу. Май гад. То есть получается, если проехал Черчилль, дорогу к карьеру утопили. Могли утопить Баджи, саботаж. Мексиканцы чинят стрел к большим жертвам, действует быстро. Нельзя действовать шумно. Посмотрим. Потому что я решил все.
Then the case is solved, Holmes. What do you intend to do?
Well, I shall require assistance for the arrests. There were accomplices.
Ah, but I know that look. You have your own ideas. What are they, Holmes?
On the one hand, we have the local constabulary and advice from our friend Lestrade. The problem we have there is that the authorities seem to be incapable of acting quietly. They rely on brute force. It could result in an international scandal. Our other option is Brother Mycroft and his tedious political games. He will locate the guilty parties without any trouble, but it will be a long and drawn-out process, and possibly with some compromise that will be to Mycroft's benefit. But I think I'd prefer to give Mycroft a chance. We should overlook our personal differences on this occasion.
Let us go home, then. I'd like to begin writing a draft of this story.
No, I did not say that we had finished here yet.
Well, all right. What did I miss?
Watson, we know that the Barkazas Company directors were drowned in the flooded quarry, along with the train and Robinson's prototype. But we still need to corner the guilty party.
But how do you intend to prove... Oh, no. Please don't tell me we have to dive into the lake.
Huh. You may rest assured that I have a far better idea. We have only to use our corrupt Doncaster station master as bait. He will unwittingly trap our Mexican friend.
Of course, you already had a plan. I shall follow you, Holmes.
Well, the case is solved, and we shall be heading home. May we have 2 tickets to London, please? The police have ordered his immediate escort to London on the next train.
He pulled through, then? He's alive?
Yes, by extreme good fortune. His condition is quite serious, and the method of transportation has its risk, but he will be held securely by the doctor and police officers. The gentleman carries some vital information on this case. I am sure of it.
Ah, really?
Your station will be famous, Mr. Duff. The journalists will be here before you know it. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Время спустя. Что это?
Gentlemen, you are under arrest.
Caramba! You traitor! You double-crossed me!
Good shot, Watson. I always knew you were a talented marksman.
I didn't want another life lost in this case, Holmes.
Oh my God! I thought I was a dead man.
You shouldn't be so glad about it. You'll be up before the judge.
Your testimony will be of great importance to the investigation. I would remind you that your cooperation will be the best way to ease your sentence. By the way, Watson, would you be so kind as to give me some shooting lessons later on?
Yes, but not in our sitting room, and not with you wearing a blindfold.
Должна найти на улик приговор политической игры. А если другая версия, то... Посмотрим, как другую версию. Если не удастся, значит оставим эту. Так. Здесь... Предположим, что сделал здесь. Дорога к шахтам. Если поезд не проезжал черт, что интересно, что будет. Это был чист. Посмотрим, что будет с этой версии. По сути,
Then the case is solved, Holmes. What do you intend to do?
Well, I shall require assistance for the arrests. There were accomplices.
Ah, but I know that look. You have your own ideas. What are they, Holmes?
On the one hand, we have the local constabulary and advice from our friend Lestrade. The problem we have there is that the authorities seem to be incapable of acting quietly. They rely on brute force. It could result in an international scandal. Our other option is Brother Mycroft and his tedious political games. He will locate the guilty parties without any trouble, but it will be a long and drawn-out process, and possibly with some compromise that will be to Mycroft's benefit. But I think I'd prefer to give Mycroft a chance. We should overlook our personal differences on this occasion.
Let us go home, then. I'd like to begin writing a draft of this story.
I did not say that we had finished here yet.
Well, all right. What did I miss?
Watson, we know that the Barcazas Company directors were trapped under the collapsed mines, along with the train and Robinson's prototype. But we still need to corner the guilty party.
But how do you intend to prove... Oh, no. Please don't tell me we have to dig out the mines.
You may rest assured that I have a far better idea. We have only to use our corrupt Doncaster station master as bait. He will unwittingly trap our Mexican friend.
Of course, you already had a plan. I shall follow you, Holmes.
Well, the case is solved, and we shall be...
Right away, wait a minute. You've solved the case?
In a manner of speaking. Can you believe that the rescue service miraculously saved one of the Chileans who were on board the train? The police have ordered his immediate escort to London on the next train.
He pulled through, then? He's alive?
Yes, by extreme good fortune. His condition is quite serious, and the method of transportation has its risk, but he will be held securely by the doctor and police officers. The gentleman carries some vital information on this case. I am sure of it.
Ah, really?
Your station will be famous, Mr. Duff. The journalists will be here before you know it. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, you are under arrest.
Caramba! You traitor! You double-crossed me!
Good shot, Watson. I always knew you were a talented marksman.
I didn't want another life lost in this case, Holmes.
Oh my God! I thought I was a dead man.
You shouldn't be so glad about it. You'll be up before the judge.
Your testimony will be of great importance to the investigation. I would remind you that your cooperation will be the best way to ease your sentence. By the way, Watson, Would you be so kind as to give me some shooting lessons later on?
Yes, but not in our sitting room, and not with you wearing a blindfold.
Ровшись на первой миссии. Ага. Теперь все видите сами. То есть то, что версия с утоплением типа оказалась их более чем весомые доказательства. А принимать версию в таком формате значит берем другую версию. Все то же самое переигрываем и все. Проезжал, потому что я так понял. Дело в том, что поезд все-таки проезжал. На него указывает телеграмма. Саботаж. Могли утопить. И все. Чьи лица исчезли, мотив пропадает. А это вообще какой-то сам Робинсон, типа, ни при чем. Не связан с этим просто. Если... А если бой правосудия, то посмотрим, что все равно выбрал. Потом еще раз переиграем.
Then the case is solved, Holmes. What do you intend to do?
Well, I shall require assistance for the arrests. There were accomplices.
Ah, but I know that look. You have your own ideas. What are they, Holmes?
On the one hand, we have Mycroft and his tedious political games. He will locate the guilty parties without any trouble. But it will be a long and drawn-out process, and possibly with some compromise that will be to Mycroft's benefit. Our other option is the local constabulary, and advice from our friend Lestrade. The problem we have there is that the authorities seem to be incapable of acting quietly. They rely on brute force. It could result in an international scandal. All the same, I think that I prefer the forces methods. It would be better to resolve the case quickly and efficiently, without any talk of politics.
Let us go home, then. I'd like to begin writing a draft of this story.
No, I did not say that we had finished here yet.
Well,
what?
But how do you intend to prove...
Huh. You may rest assured that I have a far better idea. We...
Of course, you all...
Значит, то же самое.
Well, the case is solved.
Right away, wait a minute.
In a manner of speaking, can you believe that the rescue service, the police have... Yes, but the gentleman carries some vital...
Ah, your station...
Goodbye.
Да это то же самое будет. Сейчас посмотрим. Что будет, если вы стрелите в голову так же? После этого еще раз возьму другую версию.
Gentlemen, you are under arrest.
Caramba! You traitor! You double-crossed me!
Holmes, I had to do it.
It is all right, Watson. He got what he deserved.
Oh my God! I thought I was a dead man.
You shouldn't be so glad about it. You'll be up before the judge.
Your testimony will be of great importance to the investigation. I would remind you that your cooperation will be the best way to ease your sentence.
After I returned from Afghanistan, I vowed never to take another human life.
Watson, you did in fact save a life. You should focus on that. Now come, there is still much to do.
Вот тебе и слепое правосудие, значит. Не, давай лучше все то же самое, только как до этого, и все. Больше. И на этом потом закончим дело. Да, вот теперь мы посмотрели пример же версии. Политическая игра. Давай начать политическую игру. Потому что, мне кажется, хоть и долго будет, но, по крайней мере.
Let us go home then.
Well, Watson.
But, of course, you already...
Well,
Right away.
in a manner of speaking, can you believe that the police have ordered his immediate escort?
He pulled...
Yes, by extreme good fortune. The gentleman...
Ah, yours.
Goodbye.
Блин, и то, что поезд тут топили-то. Да уж, это вполне вероятно.
Gentlemen, you are under arrest.
Caramba! You traitor! You double-crossed me!
Ну, как всегда, в руку. Ладно, на сей раз. Теперь в руку. Хотя можно было бы вообще подождать, чтобы убил того контролера, и все.
Good shot, Watson. I always knew you were a talented marksman.
I didn't want another life lost in this case, Holmes.
Oh my God! I thought I was a dead man.
You shouldn't be so glad about it. You'll be up before the judge.
Your testimony will be of great importance to the investigation. I would remind you that your cooperation will be the best way to ease your sentence. By the way, Watson, would you be so kind as to give me some shooting lessons later on?
Yes, but not in our sitting room, and not with you wearing a blindfold.
Блин, хотя мог бы, если честно, сделать это... Да, все-таки мог это, честно, сделать. Мог бы так и в прошлом видео, типа, другую версию. Но эту версию, думаю, что приму. Вот статистика. Ваш рейтинг непредвзятый. 69%. Какой же моральный выбор 63%. Ага. А те, кто решили иначе делать, то будет так же, как у меня в прошлом видео. Наименьший. Ага, кровавая баня. Цены значком.
Holmes, what happened?
I feel... deathly.
And you look it. Let me examine you. Please don't tell me that you've returned to your old habits. The pupil is dilated. The temperature appears to be normal.
Так.
I need to concentrate and count the heartbeats. I need to concentrate and count the heart. A weak pulse, around 50 beats per minute.
Да иначе почаще
But you're dying,
кликнул.
Holmes. Your pulse rate is dropping. We need to get you to the hospital immediately.
The antidote. Give it to me.
The antidote? You mean that you're poisoned?
Now. Please.
Here. Drink it all. Don't tell me that you did this to yourself.
Hemlock and datura. I was compelled to.
Holmes, imagine if I'd not returned home when I did. What might have happened?
I knew that you would.
Mr. Holmes, Inspector Lestrade is here to see you.
Mr. Holmes is unable to see anyone at the moment. He is unwell.
A good day, Inspector.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to find you here. I need your help. This is a strange one. We have brought in 2 young bankers from the city, sons of lords, members of the chamber, and so on and so forth. They were found stranded in a rowing boat that was drifting on the Thames.
A romantic escapade with an unhappy ending, Lestrade.
What? Well, yes, they were both in the bath, but... what?
As I said.
And they were tied together.
You are lacking in imagination, Inspector.
Well, no, I'm not. Anyway, there was a banner flapping about in the boat with the RMS Oceanic printed on it and signed by the Merry Men.
The Oceanic? Isn't that the largest steamer ever built?
Yes. And these 2 young banker chaps are sons of the owners of the White Star Line, the company that built it. There are rumours of corruption.
I'm not interested in politics, Lestrade.
I'll keep it then. Here's another one that's a bit more complex and maybe to your liking. It's a murder, but we're unable to find any weapon. We haven't touched anything. It's at the Roman Baths in Strand Lane.
A murder, a vanishing weapon, the Roman Baths. That's for us. Watson, fetch your hat.
Так, ладно. На этом моменте я собираюсь заканчивать видео. С вами был Леон Фокс. Я с вами не прощаюсь. Надеюсь, что как-то это еще я сделаю себе стрим.